Good evening, viewers, wherever you are. Welcome once again to Africa. And today we have a very unique show tonight. We are going to discuss the political landscape of Kenya through the lenses of many voices outside there, especially emphasizing on Morara Kebaso, known for his outspoken stance on issues of corruption, youth empowerment, electoral integrity, and the failure of devolution. Kebasu has made a name for himself as a reformist who challenges the status quo. However, like many who fight for change in a political charged environment, he faces significant accountability. One of the major issues is finance, and he has got a very unique approach in this. And people have come out to buy for him equipment to make sure that his vehicle is fuel, but it's not enough. In today's discussion, we explore the key issues Morara Kebaso has raised, unpack the challenges that stand on his way from political marginalization in our country, tribalism, and things like that, the political class that is not ready for change. And with me in the studio, I have a very important guest, and for the first time, we have got Willis. They will introduce themselves. Sorry, they will introduce themselves where they are how what they see happening in our country. Karibuni sana. Let me start with Willis. Marai. Yes, please.
Asante sana Mzalendo, Nick, for putting together this forum so that we can come and have an exchange of ideas, brainstorm on what's going on in our country at this particular time. We are at a political juncture where we can just sit and watch. If there's something one can do, we should be encouraged to do that. I go by Willis, but my name is William Mungai. I'm in Massachusetts, Boston to be exact. I am a political student or political affairs student, not by study, but by following the current affairs of Kenya. And of course, who cannot be excited about our young brother, Mr. Morara Kebaso, and what he has done in the very short period of time that he has been in the political limelight. So I am fully in support of what he's doing. Of course, I'm earthing the rot that is in the government, the wastage, the opulence, the lack of integrity as far as project management is concerned. Lots of projects that he has uncovered that were started, money was swindled, they were left undone, abandoned. It is such a shame. So I support his course because he speaks to the hearts and minds of many of us, and especially just like our sister one day was saying, many of us are abroad not because we wanted to be abroad. We went abroad for economic reasons. And so it makes a lot of sense to fight for our country because if our country is good, we all deserve and aspire to live there. And so anything we can do, one woman, one man at a time, it should be highly encouraged. One thing that I would emphasize, though, Nick, is this being a diaspora forum, and if we are putting people together as a group of diasporans who will be supporting Morara, I think it's important for whoever is the lead to organize so that Morara can appear in person on this forum in one of these days without delay so that number one, we can appreciate him. Number two, we can talk to him directly. And number two, he can legitimize the very existence of this platform.
Okay.
So I think that is really important. I know he's a busy man,
Yeah.
but diaspora can become the key, especially to the financial pillar of his campaign. And if this is going to be as important as we think it is, then he should place some emphasis on affording us some face time.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you, Willis. Thank you, Willis, for that, for your words. I mean, the words of encouragement, especially when you say that uh, Morara should at least once in a while appear on such a platform. I've seen him in many platforms, bigger platforms in Kenya, but as this platform grows, I'm sure that he will definitely appear. But thank you for your kind words. Kawi, then we go to Badea. Kawi, you haven't spoken. Kawi, are you ready? Badea, then let's move to Wadenya. Wadenya Amenya.
Thank you so much. My name is Wadenia Menya, currently in Los Angeles. I've been here for some time and I've been impressed when I saw Morara get up, and he reminds me of a person who is fed up and wants to change Kenya, not so much for himself, but I think he's thought about the generation. And it's really pissing off to see what's going on. I do concur with what the previous speaker has said and everything he said about Morara sometimes coming onto this platform. As far as what's happening in Kenya, it's very disheartening. In fact, it's actually it's depressing. It's very depressing. It's depressing because I see my people, they have so much power, but they don't understand their rights. And Morara is going out there trying to inject, you know, inject a lot of, I don't want to say logic or sense, but to empower them, to open up their minds, to let them know there's something like a constitution, there's your civics right. And what I am still upset about with my people, I'm expecting, and I think maybe they've been brainwashed for so long, and that's something we need to change their mindset. Morara is exposing these people who have ripped them off, have ripped off their generation, that they're going to pay the taxes, and I don't think they understand what that means. And I'm thinking and I'm hoping, and I was hoping there will be more uproar from the ground when they hear that 5 million or 5 trillion, shillings of your money has been stolen. And I'm like, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do to go on the ground and teach our people. When we talk about your money, it's your money, your generation. You're going to pay taxes. And now some people will feel like, okay, we cannot pay taxes because we don't have jobs. But they don't understand that they're going to raise taxes. So when I see Morara going on the street, telling them things that most politicians would not tell them, it's definitely something new, refreshing, to see this is a person who genuinely wants a good Kenya, who wants to change Kenya. He's not there for a position. He's there just to let people know this is your country, you have rights. When we talk about what's going on in Kenya right now, people, like what everybody probably knows, we're busy discussing Gashagwa because they want to distract us from what's going on. And what's going on, and Morara has said that many times, like, keep your eye on the prize. You're talking so much about the impeachment, but you're also not talking about the Adani fraud. You're not talking about the SIA fraud, about the extension where they want a presidential term. So they've known how to manipulate the people. And Morara is like in a rabbit hole trying to pull us up, saying, listen, watch. And that's why I am on the platform. And that's why I support Morara, because I'm on the outside looking in and I'm trying to tell my people, listen to what Morara is telling you guys. Nobody has ever come like this before. He's telling you guys the truth. He's showing you guys where your money is going. You know? So as far as sometimes I want to cry. I really do. But
No,
I'm
no,
I'm
no, no,
hoping.
don't cry. I mean, don't cry. We need to stay focused. We don't want to cry. I think we
No,
want solution. Yeah.
because the 1%. That's what I'm saying. The 1% of the people who are stealing the money. I mean, they are not just like snatching. They're just taking everything from the wananchi. And I'm like, come on now. Kenya
It,
is
it,
our country, and we have to do something to save it.
Amenya, it is crazy. Let me bring in Kawi. Kawi, can you
Okay.
say something?
Oh, for sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. I'm sorry. I was trying to play around with my phone, and then I disappeared. Now I'm back again. Not to play around. I was just trying to figure it out. I agree with you, Willis. I agree with you, Miss Amenya. I feel like we've seen all that's happening. Now it's time to play. I'm just waiting for the game plan. I want to go. You know, I don't want to cry. I don't want to do anything. I want to know we have 3 years to go. That's a very short time. I just want to be told, not be told. I just want to be like, we have the ball. We're playing. Let's go.
Kawi, you guys, I mean, we live in the diaspora. We in the diaspora are cautious. We've learned so much about governance in this country and what happens in the political forum. And and the reason why we need to be in such platforms is one. If you look at in the diaspora here, the conservatives have their forum. They have their talk shows. They rub it in, whether it's the lie or the truth. You'll find that the Republicans are pushing the agenda and the narrative. So we need to keep on pushing the agenda and the narrative of Morara until everybody else understands that this is the game. This is how to do it.
Ab-
Everybody, yeah.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree.
Mhm. So that is exactly what we want. I'll play a short video clip because there are so many people who have been encouraged by Morara's action. And I think when Morara just came out, then legislators in Parliament and in the Senate are really also coming out to point on what is happening in Ruto's government. It is all stealing. I have a clip here.
Oh my God, that's a wonderful question. And my answer is very simple. They have absolutely no moral authority. Even when, I mean, the most beautiful thing, Ayub, go to the clips. I was sitting here with you. I think I was sitting here when I said, how can Gachagua stand up in public and announce that, you see what? Yes, we have this outfit. Yes, what is it called? It's called this company we have now where we have 2 shareholders. And you see this one now, the president is going to take his shares and I'm taking my shares and I'm going to move on and do my thing. And Ayub, Gachagua is a consequence of this damn system of ours which is broken. That when you take power, when you get elected, what do you fight for? You fight to entrench yourself. You make sure that the argument and the narrative you give is that you come out and start telling your people that, you see what, yes, I was getting this power to do what? To make sure that I build you, that I will give you jobs as my community, that I'll make sure that we only get PSS who are from our community. In fact, these elections, and that's why you hear Gachagua is constantly raising and talking about to President William Ruto, you did not win these elections. We're the ones who made you win. To me, that is the broken system we are calling Kenya political matrix. All right? And most wonderful, Ayub, I'm a Catholic in religion, and in Catholicism, we believe in the emancipation of the spirit. I'm so happy that Gachagua's spirit has been emancipated. He's finally realizing that now the only thing he can do is run to his community and say, whoa, hey, you see they are killing me. I'm your son. I was telling you I was going to bring you the food and the bread. You see they have taken the bread away from my hands and my mouth. I have nothing to offer you now. So please, I'm your son, take care of me. If this system was functional, if we were good leaders, if we were organizing and making sure that this is a system that should be fair, equitable, and reasonable to everybody, where Kenyans are given opportunities to share the national cake, where employment opportunities are publicly put out there and we actually accept meritocracy, where we govern without corruption and these arrangements whereby people are busy sharing the loot. The problem you have, I can tell you the truth, and if Gachagua spoke to me and William did, I would tell them what they're fighting about is about sharing of the loot. How government contracts, how government tenders, how the Adani group is sharing on their own, and the Gachagua is not involved. So he's saying, I don't know what these people are doing. I don't understand which deal they're doing. It's the loot. You go to all the budgetary appropriations which are there. You see in every government department, Ayub, I can come with that document. Here they put 2 billion, here they put 3, here they put 4, here they put 9. At the end of it is 90 billion shillings or 100 that is being shared. That is the loot people are sharing. Promotions of police officers, promotions of teachers are being done by who's in office. What happens to those people who have nobody in office? This is the...
Well, that was just a sneak preview of what is really happening. And many people come out. There is the issue, a scandal called the SHS, the Social Health Authority. Kenya is moving from NHIF. You know, me and you are used to NHIF. Now we are moving to SHS. SHA is a new authority. You wonder why they have to spend 1.4 billion on this new scheme. So it is all some grand plan for people to steal money and others watch. So it is very sad. The same is happening in county. You also the other day Morara covering the governor's palace that he was building somewhere. I think it is in Hemu before he got his accident. You saw that. Any of you saw that clip of Morara covering Hemu?
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that? Yeah, it's on my channel. I'll play it when you see the kind of stealing that is going on. The Auditor General, we have a good lady there by the name, it's called Nancy or somebody. She's doing a remarkable job. Every time he's talking about wastage in government, but William Ruto and his allies are not ready to let it go. What can we do as a citizen of Kenya? What do we really need to do? Yeah, when we have a president who is not ready to work, when we have people who are being killed, abducted, and and they are gone, they will never be seen by their parents or their family, their children anymore. So many people are missing after the Gen Z's demonstrations. People are still missing today, and the government doesn't care.
You see, Nick,
Yeah.
corruption in our country runs deep. Um, Today I saw a clip by this one of the news reporter, I think is from Citizens, and he was talking about the rot or the corruption within county governments. So sometimes we just solely focus on Mr. Samuel Ruto, and we forget that the biggest corruption is actually in our counties. The devolved system is good on paper, but it's completely abhorrent in practice in Kenya. The concept was good to devolve functions to mashinani. The concept was good, but it has only been used to enrich the county officials. So this guy, I think his name is Sam Kituku.
Yeah.
He had a clip that I saw on WhatsApp today. My God, it's bedeviling. I mean, you watch that and your whole body goes into a chill mode. The way county officers come to the United States, they go to the UK, they go to Singapore, they go to South Africa for apparently trainings or sessions or workshops. They spend 4 million. They spend 2 million, 6 million here. I mean, you hear the kind of workshops they go to, it's completely useless. It's a 1 day workshop, but they are there for a week. They each get compensated to the tune of 1 million each or several millions. So there's a lot of corruption that's running deep, and it goes from the top all the way to the bottom. So it's corruption, highest corruption at the federal government level, and then there's a lot of corruption at the county level. And these will need a complete overhaul. But again, just like Morara says, the rot starts at the top. You cannot deal with corruption from the bottom. You have to deal with it from the top. And it just takes eliminating the people at the top, and then everybody else at the bottom will follow suit. So it's a big problem. It's not something that's easy to deal with, but we have to deal with it. Period.
Yeah, I mean, so many people came to deal with corruption. I thought Oginde, who sits at EACC, having come from the church fraternity, where the body is toothless. Is toothless. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe, Kavi, you guys have an idea of how Kenya can deal with corruption. But me, the only hope that we have is on Morara. If Morara comes on board and we have people with the same mentality, I always say all is not lost. So Willis is here, Amenya is here, Kawi is here. People who are interested in the welfare of the nation called Kenya. We must do something. We can't just sit down. And here in the diaspora, we are being reminded each and every time that wewe ni Wakukuja, you came from somewhere, you have an accent. Even as much as we speak their language, they'll always tell you that you have got that accent, you are from, you know, and that is the identity they want. We also want to go back to our country, develop our country in agriculture, and develop our country in infrastructure, in education, and so many things. There's a lot of people here who are knowledgeable. Some are professors teaching in universities here. They need to go back home, but there is no security at home. People in the diaspora here are very, very comfortable. They are in a comfort zone. But I can tell you, the people I've met, very few of them enjoy staying here. And you all know that it's not funny. We need to be home. There is some comfort when you arrive at daycare here and you see your people. There's that genuine smile. Sio ile smile ya mzungu ile it's a green lakini huku ndani what they think about you is totally different. But I think not all of them are like that, but a good number of them are like that. Yeah, but that's my opinion. What do you guys say about that?
We agree 100%. Willis, that was not a very encouraging story, man. Oof.
Hmm?
No. I said the clips that you viewed on WhatsApp. You talking about them just ah, just mm-mm. But I agree with what we are saying. We have 3 years. Hopefully, we'll spread our word and we'll see change.
Wow. I mean, let us spread the word. I mean, everybody is coming out. In fact, Parliament is going to be divided in 2027. Morara has got a very, very clear chance. But what I like about Morara is one thing. He has said that he's not going for any small seat like the MP or the governor seat. He wants to be the president of the Republic of Kenya. That is all he wants. And there is something that I want to share with you that is very interesting. Why he said that he's going to arrest President William Ruto. I thought that quite interesting. That the first thing that he'll do is to ensure that William Ruto is arrested. So Morara means business, and we need to support him. But the challenges that he's having at the moment is he fought left, right, and center. because the opposition in Kenya have joined hands with the government. They have joined hands with the government. So this space that Morara is occupying is what Raila Odinga used to occupy so many years back. Now that space is being occupied by Morara. And Morara is not a tribalist. Morara needs backing from each and every corner of the Republic of Kenya. You viewer out there, you know what our country is suffering from. You know that our only hope is somebody who can face corruption head on and face this leader and bring justice to the people of Kenya. And that person is none other than Morara. So please, please, if you're out there, spread the word. Ukiwa pale Moyale, Garissa, Wasingishu, let us make sure that Morara is selling. Yesterday, I had somebody from Morara region, which is easy. He came on the studio and told me, Zalendo, yes, we hear about Morara in Nairobi, in social media, and all that. But he comes from here this year. You don't know if he has not done anything. So our people also need a lot of civic education, really, a lot of civic education. Some don't really understand what Morara is fighting for. Even if it is shown on video, even if it is translated in vernacular, they still can't understand why he is fighting the establishment. So we need, there is a sizable amount of people who still need to be told that good governance means accountability and transparency. And that is the homework we have. That is the homework we have. That is the homework we have here in Africa each and every day. We have to tell the people back at home and the people in the diaspora here to be participating in the politics. We need to get out of that comfort zone. We need to get out there and start talking, start contributing. Anything, 10 shillings. I'll put up a number for Morara if anybody who wants to contribute for this cause. Morara is his numbers are here. Yes, he has a M-Pesa number, but it says the M-Pesa number is not working, but you can try. It is 0780988561. That is Morara Kebaso's M-Pesa number. His bank account, this is NCDA bank account is there. The number is 52148400015. PayPal, if you are in the diaspora and you want to use PayPal, is the best way to do it right now because the investor has got some issues. If you want to send him something on PayPal, please use the number there, and his email address is also there. These are the official numbers for Inject Kenya ni Home Movement. Hii ni ya kuweka gari ya Morara mafuta aende akituonyesha zile miradi za serikali ambao zimekwama na pesa zimeliwa. Money has been eaten, nowhere to be seen, and you'll find a stone standing there, branded William Ruto or any other person. But this is what is happening in Kenya, and we must fight corruption, and we must help Morara meet his goal. It is very, very difficult. It needs a lot of courage. Not so many people can do what Morara is doing. Personally, maybe I will be very, very scared if I don't have any backing. But this guy just went out there without any backing, and people donated stuff, vehicles, sound equipment, and people are still donating money for him. So it's a serious thing. People need leadership in Kenya. People need leadership in Kenya. Wadea, what do you think that we should do other than just, telling the people of diaspora to contribute? What should we really do to make sure that people are coming out to contribute for Morara?
agree. I agree that we need to support him. I listened to that video that Onyonka, Senator Onyonka, has said, and I'm just hoping that we can find people also on the ground as team. And I don't know if this has been done already, who can actually go on the ground and continue with the injection of civics education, and prepare the way so that when Morara needs to go somewhere, they can, be ready for him. I don't know how the ground is in Kenya right now. It's a tall order that Morara has taken, and sometimes I'm just scared for his safety.
Yeah. We are all praying for him to be safe out there, especially when that accident happened. Uh, I think it got me very, very scared. I thought that he wouldn't make it, you know. But when he told me, when he posted that he had fled the scene, then I think he is encouraged to go on. There's an interview he did with Lynn Ngugi, and that was a very powerful interview. And, you guys watched it, the one Morara did with Lynn Ngugi.
Yeah, I saw it.
If you saw it, huh? Morara with
I
the
watched it too.
yeah, people some comment that. Let's see how sneak preview.
I will actually take William Ruto to prison without regret. I'm so worried about it. One, because I know they are not fighting for the people. Hii kupigana wanapigana, it has nothing to do with the people of Mount Kenya na wananchi. It's taking away attention. Tumeanza kusahau Adani yako kwa airport yetu. Tumeanza kusahau Adani through a company called Pietro ako sasa kwa Shif, ina replace NHIF. Tumeanza kusahau Adani yako kwa Ketraco ya stima. Me, the way I'm looking at this thing, it has William Ruto's fingerprints on it. Accidents happen, but this particular accident, I'm asking myself why the driver of the vehicle ran away. Maadui wangu sahi ni wengi. Mimi hata sijui nani anaweza niua. I don't know. Because it can be Ruto, it can be Gachagua, it can be opposition, because I've taken their space and now I'm doing opposition work. It can be contractors whose projects I've exposed. I know I'm alive for a reason, but I also know that I'm alive for a season. I'm going to be here forever.
Boss, that part that was very emotional for me. Yeah, this guy is ready to die for his country. Hmm? That's quite encouraging. And you out there, you just seated, unaona pesa yako ikiibiwa, and you can't do anything about it. Yes, if you can't be out there with Morara, then at least send him something. Send some money, $10, $20, $100. Kidogo kidogo ujaza kibaba. We in the diaspora here, we can send some good money in small bits, and for sure Morara will be able to meet his goals. Look at the way he's talking passionately about development in our country. And Willis, you mentioned it, how counties are being looted. Yesterday, I saw the G7. G7 are women, are women governors, I think. They were out there on a conference. And I can tell you, they have all these flash conferences where they spend billions of county funds just to have some meetings that don't yield any kind of fruit. And the county governor, it has a body called the county, I don't know, something that oversees what the county is doing, the county governments are doing. They also have another conference that they have annually, yeah, which they spend a lot of money, a lot of money. But it is high time with these guys. I think we need to change our constitution. These counties are a waste of our funds. Me, that is how I look at it. most of them is a big, big waste of our fund. Yeah. Tawi, what do you think about this town?
I agree. It's a waste of funds. I what there's something I was following on it's a friend of mine who is in the health industry, and he hasn't been paid for a very long time, and I hear the money is being held with the by the county government. And I'm like, wait a minute, and here you're talking about this meetings that they're going to, which could have paid the healthcare people. It's ridiculous. It's a waste of money for sure. Um, Even thinking about it, talking about it makes you mad.
Alex is joining us. Alex Vega. Alex, can you tell us something about what you hear saying about Morara Kebaso? Alex, can you hear me?
Yes, I can get you loud and clear. Can you hear me also?
Yes.
So as far as I'm concerned, the nation is happy with what he's doing, the exposes. At least he's keeping the government on check. And recently, he spoke. He hasn't said whether he's going to vie or not. So they're just speculations. But we'll see in 2027 whether he'll vie or not. But I think people appreciate what he will do, what he's doing. But the biggest question I'm asking myself is, can people really back him in 2027 if he chooses to stand? Because he's standing for the truth, and if he becomes a politician, atakuwa mse anasimama na policy. But I don't really think Kenyans are at that point whereby tuna policy cells. I don't think. I think by 2027 people will still go by their people. Venye tu tumeona saizi Rigiji akienda kuimpichiwa, all the Mount Kenya leaders wamekuja pamoja so that to protect their own, despite him not being competent, they still protecting him. Hawataki akuwe impeached. They still want him to be there. So I think tribal politics bado itaangusha Morara despite him doing his best efforts.
Wow, that is an opinion from a Gen Z. But if you've not made a decision, Alex, if you see Morara on the ballot and you see Ruto on the ballot, Gashagua and Kalonzo, who are you going to vote for as a young person?
Of course, I'm going to give my vote to Morara because nimekuwa nikisema for a long time, I don't see the difference between Azimio and Kenya Kwanza. These people are just the same. Even recently, I think 3 days ago, tumeona anaitwaje, Mbadi was called to the parliament and he was grilled by the senators. Na tumeona like he looked clueless until to the point akaanza kusema ati he has been in office for some few weeks. Unaona? So even if we remove Ruto and we bring the opposition, saizi kina Kalonzo, things will just be the same. So we have to do things a bit different. So imagine saizi we have a broad-based government and still our solutions are not yet solved. So meaning all those people hakuna kitu wanaweza tufanyia as a country.
I have a question for you, Alex. You said 2027, if it's I'm trying to paraphrase what you said. If he vied for presidency, the tribalism we would not be able to get him to be elected. I mean, we have 3 years. I'm not saying that we're just speculating for sure, but being positive, I think we have 3 years with civic education, getting to the grassroots. I think we can do it.
Okay, so yes, I get what you're trying to say. Yes, and it's a good thing. With the 3 years, we can try to do some civic education, try to see whether we can penetrate the places that are called mashinani. Those are the villages, to see whether, because those are the people who need the civic education more than the
Right.
people who are living in the city areas.
Right.
But you see here in Kenya, tribal politics is deeply rooted in the people, more so the older generations, and they're the ones who vote more than the younger people. So it's something which is deeply rooted in the people. So it's not easy to eject it like that. It's so for now, what we can do is we can plant a seed and try to see whether it can grow in the future. We'll have politics based on policy and principles.
For sure.
Why, why, why are you so tired? Why are you so tired? No, you don't need not to get tired, Kawi. I mean, that is how things are in Kenya. I mean, you need to hear different perspective of how the guys in the comment section is saying how Alex is saying hi to you all guys on the platform. Now, this is the kind of feeling that people are having. But let me bring in Amenya to share our views on what Alex has just said.
Hi, Alex. I was listening to you, and earlier I had said that I felt like crying because I don't know if you remember that book, Cry, My Beloved Country. Was there a book like that? I don't know if some of you read that novel years ago. I think it's titled Cry, My Beloved Country. You see, from what you're talking, it doesn't look like you have faith in yourself that we can do it. And when you talk like that, how do you expect to be able to convince somebody? It has to start with you, from your voice, how you carry yourself. You see, what I have done, when people call me for money from home now, I used to be the cash cow, I start civics education. I will talk and talk because they're calling me on their dime, so they have to hear what I have to say. And then when they're done, I'm done talking. I don't send them the money because I've made it very easy for them to. I've always been their problem solver. So I'm asking them to go figure out what they're going to do with themselves. So there's different ways, of civics education. I was telling somebody, I was talking to Mushwa now, and he calls me and tells me what's going on. And I keep asking them, you guys have been with Ryla all these years. Has he sponsored any of you to go to school? Have he put you guys? No, sometimes you really have to go there. What has he done for you guys? When he has parties, does he invite you guys? It's only during Mandamano when you guys go there, you get a beat down. He has his security, he has his people, and then you guys get beat, you get shot, and then you walk back home. He's carried. So sometimes you have to really get to the person's gut and tell them, listen, if something was to happen to you today, what's going to happen to your children? Now you're calling me to tell me you don't have rent money. So we can actually get people who, I was talking to my cousin who was a strange head of root. O'Reilly. Nowadays she's like, hey, I see what you're saying. Hey, this man has been lying to us. So we're going to have to just go any means possible. Anyhow, we're going to have to get the word. We're going to have to do it.
That's so encouraging. I've been doing the same thing. I said, if I send you money, I have to preach to you. I am sorry.
Here you go.
You see, almost 1 hour has really improved lately. Courtesy of Kawi and Amenya. Almost 1 hour has really improved nowadays. Whatever he talks about, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we always talk before he goes, and he's like, hey, I'm going to say, I said, listen, you guys are baboons. Nigerians, sorry. Nigerians have this adage. I have to say this. Nigerians have an adage where they say, monkey, they work. Baboon, they chop. Meaning that the monkey does the work, and guess who eats? The baboon.
Almost, you've really, Amenya, you've really worked on Almost. I am so impressed. Yesterday he was really talking. I watched one of his videos and I said, "Is this the same psychophant that I was hearing some days back? There is something that has gotten to him. Maybe somebody is giving him a lot of money. Yeah, because almost 1 hour, I can't compare him to the other guys who are making, who are talking a lot of nonsense.
You mean Gaucho, the illiterate one?
No, the is a psychopath. You know, these guys can't differentiate. These guys are psychopaths. And psychopathy is a permanent class in Kenya, apparently. If you are not able to graduate to the next level, then you remain stuck there forever. If you meet these people, you can't convince them to leave Raila Odinga or to leave William Ruto. You are telling them things that they don't understand. It's like going back in my village where I come from. The other time I was digging boreholes in my village and trying to make sure that people get some clean water. But you reach a point when somebody is telling you, frankly, that we are used to drinking from the river. Why do you want us to get some clean water? We are used to this kind of lifestyle. Why do you want to change it? Let me invite our elder who has just joined us, Penny Nyagaka. Penny,
Yes.
karibu sana Afrika, and tell us where you are listening from. And I added you to the group of Morara, and apparently we have got a whole diaspora community here talking about our candidate Morara. Give us an insight of what you see in the future of Morara as an elder. You have been an elder on Africa for a very long time. We like your wisdom. Whenever you come here, I don't want to stay out there for long before giving us your wisdom. You have been in Kenyatta's government, you have seen Moi's government, you have seen Ibaki's government, now you are seeing Ruto's government, Uru's government you saw, and now you're seeing Ruto's government. And you supported William Ruto. I remember me and you really campaigning hard for William Ruto, thinking that it's going to make some changes. Nowadays, when I go back to watch those wheelbarrows, I think that we were so foolish. Yeah. Have you seen the pictures of wheelbarrows? You know,
Uzalendo,
the pictures of wheelbarrows, you'll feel like you were cheated, you are duped, or you are drunk with something. Hmm? Yes. Karibu.
uzalendo tulidanganywa mbaya bwana, tulidanganywa mbaya. When he was saying something about the economics here, bottom up, I thought he understood what he was talking about. That's why I supported him. You know, I for one, and I supported him fully. But this is the worst government. And then, like you have said, I've seen Kenyatta's government, Moi's, and all this. And when we were in secondary school, when somebody called me you Moi, that's like a fighting words. Because we thought that he was not eloquent enough. But he ruled Kenya for 24 years. So to come fast forward to Morara, this firebrand is exactly like his grandfather. His grandfather was, say for example, I come from Kisi. His grandfather, there were some senior elders from Kisi, Lawrence Sagini, James Nyamwaya. But his grandfather came, he was a MP for North Mugrango. And he was speaking what the people wanted to hear. And he was killed exactly the same way this guy is trying to kill him. Because he came from Nairobi and left some people in Nakuru. And then he went to Kakamega. But in Kakamega, they tried to, in the DC's office, to place a home, they tried to stop him from going kissing because it was getting late. He said, no. I have to be with my wife tonight. And he did not make it. From Kakamega, they killed him somewhere in Kisumu. But it was the only thing they killed him for was because he had gone to it as Zimbabwe, Malawi, and met the guy who had killed Tom Mboya. And Tom Mboya is the one who airlifted him, George Morara, to America. And he started over there. And so this gentleman is doing exactly what his grandfather did. To us, we saw him like a little kids. I was in Form 1. He was best friend with Mark Musire, who became the later MP for for Wanjare. But This guy is doing exactly what his grandfather did. His grandfather did not, really worry about the system that even kills people at that time, like Tom Boyer. But he was speaking the facts as they were. And this gentleman is doing the same thing. Thank you very much. I see that you added me there. And I will look forward to speaking with him because this is the only president we have for the future. Because the only the now that we have is a waste of time. This is the worst government that we can ever think of ruling Kenya. And when we supported this guy, I don't know why you supported him, but when I supported him, I thought he had changed from killing us in the 1982 to now. He had never changed. He give wonderful speeches, but he doesn't mean any of them. You saw in the United Nations when he gave the speeches there. He come to Christian Rambo, he answering all the questions that the Christian Rambo is asking him, but he doesn't mean them. So it's a waste of time, and we cannot. Some of us personally, I cannot waste time with this character anymore. This is the worst government that we can ever think of, because even Kenyatta's government was weak because he had come over here and he had the promise that he would, once he got Kenya, he would prove how the money was, Namblem found the money in Panama. And when he went to Kenya, he shook hands with Ruto, with Raila, and that was the end of it. Ruto is shaking hands with Raila just to keep the money he's getting from Mandani of selling the whole of Kenya, all the Kenyan corporations. So this is the worst government. We don't need. Kuna mzee mwingine alisema huko kwao Eldoret, alisema we don't even know where this guy came from. And now that we're looking backwards, we say the same thing. We don't even know where this guy came from. He's selling the country. Hakuna mtu ambaye is a president of anybody, of anywhere, that sells his own country to somebody else. So, my friend, let us pray for this guy. I thank you very much for adding me to that gentleman. We look forward to talking to him. And he has all the right ideas. He is liked from everywhere in Kenya. Kila mtu anampenda, anataka aone vile atatengeneza nchi. And it would not be that difficult because when this guy was given the opportunity and he squandered it, that's his loss. Thank you very much, Mr. Endo.
Right. I just want to say something. So you two damn numbskulls actually fell for Ruto. You guys, you numbskulls, you actually believed that he was going to deliver. Oh yeah, God.
Let me tell you where people are coming from.
Just say yes, you numbskull, both of you. You're the one who put us in. You guys believe this guy?
My friend, everybody make mistakes. If you have never made any mistake, then you can ask that question. Yes, I fell for it. I made a mistake, and I apologize for it. But if there's nobody who has never made mistakes, then you're in for it. I mean, then you have a right to ask that kind of question. But if you have ever made a mistake, you have the right to say you're sorry. Because personally, Mimi Nilion, I was there when he was trying to kill people in 1982. But personally, lately, he gave very wonderful speeches, 2022, 2021. And you saw how Kenyatta trashed him. But we trusted what he was saying primarily. Lakini kuona vile amefanya, we cannot continue to support that character because we supported him at one time or another. But that's a mistake. On my part, I apologize. If you want me to kneel down, I'll do that. It's a mistake. Thank you, Mr. Ren.
Amenya, people have, people do mistakes. Only a fool does not change his mind. Yeah, you reach a point where you can change your mind on any other subject, But even when you look at it, what we had, the options we had in 2017, the options were very, very clear. Either you are voting for Raila Odinga, an extension of Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. And for me, I saw Uhuru Kenyatta had done he had messed up the country. Corruption was at the highest level. This guy was offering an alternative, and he was very eloquent. And we thought that he had learned from the governments that he had been serving, but unfortunately, he had not learned anything. Even with the Gen Zs emerging and demonstrating, we thought that that was the best opportunity for him to make changes in his government, but he didn't take that bait. He had the best opportunity to change the government when the Gen Z some of the demands, but down the road, Raila Odinga joined him. They forgot everything, and now things are back to normal. And that's how Kenya is. It is sad. It's a sad situation. Yes, Alex, you've been quiet for some time. Can you say something? Kenya Revolution is saying that the solution is a popular revolution. Do you guys think that we need a popular revolution to change the government, or we can just rely on the electoral process and go and vote for Morara and Morara will win? Yep, this is a question I'm posing to you guys. Do you think a revolution can happen in Kenya? Can you guys hear me? Munanisikia
Yeah,
kweli?
Yeah, I heard you.
Hey,
yeah,
Kawi, do you think that a revolution can happen in our country? The people in the
yeah.
comment
It can
section,
happen. It was about to happen, but Ruto joined Raila joined Ruto. The Gen Z was going to overthrow him. So there's a possibility of a revolution anytime in Kenya.
Amenya, say something. Now
I,
that
I,
Nyagaka has apologized.
I'm still trying to digest it. Okay, wheelbarrow. Okay. Anyway, I feel like a revolution can happen in Kenya. The only problem we have is that if we can all just be determined, like be on the same page and support and really want it, because there's some people who are content with they're complacent where they are. Some of them don't know anything that is going on around them. But I think that if it's well organized, put together, and I don't understand why anybody always thinks, they say that Raila, what? Joined government and that's why it happened. All the mandamanos that Raila did was just like 1 day, 2 days to get attention and to get a position. So I don't even think it was a factor in terms of whether it was going to happen or not. I just think that we were not well prepared. We were not well prepared. And we didn't have a lot of support. And then we had some people who were mold. But I think we can do it.
Kawi,
Yeah, I think we can do it. I agree with what Tamanya said.
yeah, you guys are agreeing. But now we have a candidate, Morara. The thing that is going to face in 2027, if indeed the way I'm seeing things going, Morara will be a presidential candidate. With the kind of support that he's getting from the diaspora community and Kenyan, he's surely going to be the candidate. And how I wish, where are the Gen Zs? Do they support Morara? Where are the Gen Zs? Alex was here before. Do the Gen Zs really resonate with Morara? What is your thought, Kavi?
That's a question that I also had. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I don't see him. I don't see Morara trying to reach out to this other voting bloc called Gen Z. It is a voting bloc that will make a difference in Kenyan politics, and he has got the best opportunity to reach out to that group of people and articulate his stand on certain issues. But Morara again has not come out saying that I am the presidential candidate for 2027. He has said that only time if Kenyans want him to serve in that position, then he will go for it. Perhaps we need him here. Wadenya, you need to talk to Morara and tell him, people need to hear his stand clearly, whether he's going to vie as the president or he's going to remain on the as an activist. Mm.
Okay, I believe Morara is going to vie. I think at this point, he's not talking politics. I think he's trying to make the people aware of what's happening and educate the people. And I believe when the time comes, just like many people in the diaspora, many people who are going to be on this platform, in this party, are going to come out. Since we don't have a party, there is no party right now. I personally believe that once they decide, okay, they're going to form a party and they're going to be aspirants who are in positions, I think it will also be able to push Morara because he's not going to be the only one on the ground. He'll other people. Like, for example, if I decide, or any of you decide, okay, you know what? You guys want to go back on and fight for position. As Morara is on one side, as a party, you can also be promoted because it's not realistic to think he's going to be able to reach each and every part of Kenya. So for people who are going to vie or who are going to be on the ground, they have to push. They have to push his agenda. They have to go on the ground, and that's how I think it's going to happen.
Oh, okay. I agree. I mean, somebody, Kenya Revolutionary, is saying on the comment section that if Morara cannot win any election, if Raila and William Ruto pick the IBC official, and there is this issue of Raila Odinga and William Ruto picking uh, those IBC commissioners. What are your thoughts, Benny? What are your thoughts about this? The situation where Raila and Uhuru and Ruto are picking the referee for the election. For me, I think it's
Yeah,
very, very
I,
unfair.
I think number one is running for president in 2027 because even the interview he gave with the Lenny Ngugi, it was very clear. He said he don't want to run for MP, MCA, or a governor. But if the people want him, he will run for president. That's the code word for he want to run for president. So that's very clear. But those who are going to be elected, chosen by Ruto, Raila, and Kenyatta for IBC, those are just only going to count the votes. They cannot manipulate anything. A lot of people have said that the Raila may be what may be what. Only time you are in B1 in 2007. It was very clear. It was well known. Even the president himself was sworn in at night because it was very well manipulated in the system. Like in here, Sasa, even if they elect their mothers or anybody, they will, even Uyu Morara and Sema, you will beat them so much, they cannot manipulate anything. So to get those people together, I mean the Kenyans of goodwill, and have them count the election where they could put the Ruto, it will be evil. The GNC will really, it will be uprising because This will be known before the elections, not after the elections. That they are going to manipulate the system, it will be known before the elections. Ingine wanasemanga after the elections, kama 2022, they agree to go to the elections, and then what? They go even to court. They agree that whoever wins this will be president. Then what they do? 3 months later, they wanianza maandamano. 2017, Maraga refused that. I can see this clearly. You have to go redo the elections. And they wanted Chebukati out. But that's not what they went to court for. They went to court to say that the elections were manipulated. And Maraga agreed with them. But they did not go to court to get Chebukati out. I'm giving you a wrong-winded answer to say that even if they elect anybody today, any Kenyan person who lives in Kenya, they know they cannot steal the elections. IBC could count votes too. Now, Morara, he doesn't want only the GNC, he wants everybody. He quotes the baby boomers, everybody. So he is GNC himself. He's only 28. So we support him fully, and we hope the IBC will not be really a hindrance, Mr. Zarendo. That I will not really accept that, because we will know that they are going to steal before the elections, not after. After it's too late. Thank you.
Let us hear a different voice from Ashley. Ashley has just joined us. Ashley, a long time.
Actually, been hiding.
Ashley, can you unmute?
Yes, how are you?
Fine. I know.
We come to front and get you out of there.
No, you know, when Ashley sees a topic that she really enjoys, she jumps in. Now, I know you've got a lot of information, lots of information to tell us about Morara and what is happening in our country. But first, tell us where you are and if you are okay, because you've been away for some time.
Actually, hi, I hope everyone is doing fine. I haven't been away. I just have not found you online. You have been. I think the person I have seen online most is Kenya Revolutionary. So it's the hours that have been colluding. That's why I wasn't able to join. Even now, I just happen to be just perusing, and I told you you are online. My view is very different, but my view that's open for debate. And I like what Morara is doing, his civic education. And he has said that we need to also do civic education in our own capacities, so that he is not the only one who is doing it, that a lot of other people are doing civic education, so we can reach as many people as possible. With that said, I've been thinking deeply about, I say someone like Martin Luther King played a very big part in the Black American civic rights, but he never held any office. And I don't know why we think that if someone is doing civic education, it either qualifies them for the presidency or even that they are interested in it. If we think about Jesus, he was preaching and people wanted to make him king, and he said no, he ran away so that people would not make him king. I would hope that Morara can just have this, that he's just doing civic education without any presidential ambition. I think that would really help him accomplish his purpose. And if we look at the president, even in the US, they are about 47. I think now this is the 47th. Yeah, the one who will be coming in is the 47th. And none is remembered each year like Luther King, who never was president. So we stop putting so much weight on being president that you can do something without the hope of a benefit, be more patriotic to me and bear more weight than anything else. That said, I think if you look at any organization that when they are seeking a position in the highest offices, there is always a requirement for a certain number of years experience. And I feel like as Kenyans and even other countries, including America, we keep making the same problem of electing people who have no experience whatsoever and going by our emotions. We have not looked at them. We just see what they have done, and we use that to think that they can make a good president. That is the same thing he did about Ruth. He came and told us about Hasna, how Uhuru is bad, how they are two dynasty, how he will do, how he will be a hustler president. He told us about how he was going to do the bottom up, and people like me would come here and try to explain the bottom up, and he did not hold him account to tell us how he was going to be different. Let me tell you one thing that disturbed me about Morara Kebaso. Yesterday he went and said he's the first person he would arrest the people. Don't you know that the president has no power to arrest? So what he's telling me, and these are the red flags I look at on our golden boy, that he's going against the mandates he has been given. The county is not with the office of the president. And Biden has always been here when Trump has accused him of being behind many cases, no mandate with what's going on in the judiciary. That and entirely there is separation of states or the offices of powers. So that tells me that either Morara does not understand that, which means he's green, which means he's not, he's immature one. He was giving a lot of information out that he should have had wisdom at the Lee Googie interview yesterday. I'm just saying the things I saw that would concern me as a president. We need someone with the wisdom to know when they open their mouth what to say for a president. A person like Okia Omtata, who knows about the separation of different, but the executive cannot arrest and cannot imprison anyone. That is not their job. Just make sure that the institutions work, so that the institution that should be judiciary, the institution that should be that do the work can do their job without your interference. As a president, you should not recommend anybody to be arrested. That is what we want to stop. We want to stop the president going to the legislative branch and forcing them to elect or to vote a certain way. We want to stop the president from going to the judiciary to force them to judge a certain way. He is saying that he's going to do that. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the fact that he was given 350 he excited. He went to Charles and bought 60 suits and all the way down, dressed down, that he forgot even to go and campaign. When he was asked the other day if he could give account to money he has been given, any money sent to his cell phone, he will not. But when he opens a pay bill, he will. This is confidential. Those are the little things that we look at. Now, it might be that I'm wrong. How can we prove it? I think he has not been in a place where we can judge him. He should just come in, let's say, my opinion is that in the next government, he should come in as somebody like a DPP and let himself prove that he can work without being corrupt, that he can work without being coerced, that he can work without favorism. And then the next time we do election, then we can actually judge him on his record that we have seen as we elect him. But the way we are doing it now, we are making the same mistake that we made with Ruto. That is my opinion. What I think, I sat down and thought, and I said, Kenya is not ready for, the way we do it with the elections, the way we do it. And we did that because we are doing it like other countries. And I think we need to work with what we have. Most of our people are illiterate, unexposed. And I think we need to change a referendum where the president and elected leaders will be chosen just the way you apply for a job. And we get something like a big organization to screen these people, run their background checks, and actually hire them. That the person should apply for a job as a president and go through the screening, the requirements, and then get hired that way. For the next 20 years, that we will not have elections, that someone will apply for a job and get it that way until we educate our communities, our masses about civic education. And then 20 years or 25 years from now, we can enter the mature world of these elections where the people choose, because I don't think we are there yet. And because we are not there yet, the people with money have taken advantage of the illiteracy of our community to keep lording over us. And it is like, they say it's elected, but we are not elected. We are choosing thieves, we are choosing cartels. So that is my opinion. Thank you.
Hello, may I just say something before I forget? Hello?
Zerendo.
Go ahead.
So the lady,
Go ahead.
there was a lot of echoing, but I was like at the edge of my seat. First of all, which world does she exist in? I've met all these things she's talking about choosing president. In which country? Do you have a country in this world? I don't know how many countries you have in the world that has such a system. And as far as Morara is saying, he was going to lock her. We've heard of Trump saying when Hillary was vying, lock her up. A president is a leader. He doesn't work by himself. So there's no such thing as experience per se. It's can he lead? Can he delegate? Can he listen to the ground? That's why you have ministers, you have governors, you have mayors, you have all those people. You work as a team. It's brutal you're having issues with, and I'm trying to say this. You say Morara has red flags, and you said also you voted for Ruto. Ruto, who had been saying in 6 months' time, this was going to happen, it didn't happen. Ruto, who had been to ICC. You talking about red flags? This man had double red flags. So when we start nitpicking, and we start saying we need to see this, we need to see this, no. Sometimes a person is different. The person is given an opportunity. And all those scenarios you're given about being employed, people are always getting employed. Like some people have like referral, people sometimes bring your resume and do it. So basically why I am here, I want to hear something positive. Something positive. Because nobody has taken that risk that Morara has taken. So I don't want anybody, and I'll be the first one to throw shades. This guy could probably be his mom. This young lad has done something that none of us, including you, your children, your grandparents, has done. We need to hold him up, encourage him. Not come here and say he's not ready. When is Kenya going to get ready? And Kenya is very tribal. Politics is tribal. We're trying to move away from that mindset. So let's give him a chance. up with something sensible. That this is how you can help him. I just like, as I said, I had to say it because the problem with Kenyans, the reason why we are where we are, where these politicians use people like toilet paper, because we are so used to talking about a problem, but we don't want to.
Hey, Amenya, your mic. There's
No,
something wrong with it.
I'm pissed off. I'm really, really pissed off. I'm pissed off.
There is some echo on your mic, some crashes on your mic. I don't know. Are you using headphones?
No, I'm not. The echo has been there when the previous person was speaking. Maybe it's connection, But
yeah, there is a connection problem there.
Let's support.
We can hear you.
Let's support Morara. That's why we're here. We are here to support him. We're here to hold his hand. We're not here to discourage him. We're not here to discourage the Kenyans. We've been ripped off. We've been sold. The country is going. Let's help him. And as we help ourselves, he's showing us some courage we haven't had. Let's be positive. I don't know which world some of us live in. We are on the bench, on the lane. We're like, receive this. Get in the game and play that game and see if it's that easy. Okay, I'm done. Peace out.
Okay. Amenya, done. You're already pissed off.
Thank you, Amenya. That was good.
Yes, Penny, say something.
Yeah, I didn't know that I would disagree with the young lady, Ashley. That Morara doesn't have experience. It's true, but look at West Africa, Tuareg. Look at what the Senegalese government is doing. Even in Kenya's example, Mzee Kenyatta didn't have any experience. He was just a mid leader. But he selected ministers from everywhere that were wise people, and they ran the country very well. So, actually, ukisema let him have experience. Experience from who? From this tax, Kina Ruto? I mean, some of us cannot fathom to see this continuing so that Morara can get a chance any other time. Let everybody who wants to run for office do it, and do it where the common people of Kenya will say, this is the leader we want. That he doesn't have experience. All these people that we have had, Kinamoi was vice president for a long time. Kenyatta was a minister, Ruto was a minister for a long time. He didn't even have a job. He has experience in the government. What has he done? He has lied to us. He has, kila kitu kama mnyama. So, with some of us, the support we have for Morara is to see that we have a different government for the future of our country. But to say that he doesn't have experience, he doesn't have this, that, while it is true, the opposite is even worse. The opposite of seeing these people continuing to root the country, to sell the country, is worse than we can think of. So actually, they consider that to see that, yes, it is true that he doesn't have experience, but who did have experience and what they do? So, yangu ndio hiyo tu, mheshimiwa Mzalendo.
He doesn't have experience stealing. That's why he doesn't have experience stealing.
Exactly. He doesn't have experience stealing. And who I fail to understand, Ashley. I listened to your points, but no, that's out. Experience doesn't make sense at all. We elected Trump the other day. Did he have experience at all? I mean, he was a business person. Okay.
Yeah, in politics, especially the politics of Kenya and the presidency, what maybe Morara is an accomplished lawyer. He's not been a politician. He has started with activism and now people realize that he has got some leadership potential in him when he could articulate the issue. But when you look at around the kind of leaders that we have, if you will put Gachagua and Morara, who are you going to choose as your leader? Uh, you'll see there's a sharp difference. There's a contrast between the two. If you choose between Ruto and Morara, who is the better option? Is it somebody who is telling you the truth or somebody who is lying? So we need to look at these things holistically. But what you said that on only one point that I can agree with you is that there is the Constitution of Kenya, which I think we have all overlooked. The Constitution of Kenya says that for you to run for the presidency, you have to be at least 35 years of age. That could knock him out if they're going to use the Constitution as a measure, because that is what is in the Constitution. One should be at least 35 years and above. But otherwise, he qualifies just like any other person, apart from the age factor. But looking at Morara in the future, this is a fresh breath in our politics. We needed, people are looking for somebody who can be an alternative when it comes to government. What we have is the normal political bickering and people having some grandstand, some tribal leaders. For example, you can even go to the recent, and actually I would want you to comment on this, your position on somebody like Gachagua. What do you think? Uh, what do you think is happening between Gachagua and Ruto? And why is Gachagua portraying himself as a Kikuyu leader other than a vice president of the Republic of Kenya who was elected by all Kenyans, not only the Kikuyu community? So these are some of the issues that we look at and we say that this country is not moving in the right direction, and we need somebody who is going to steer it in a different path from the usual politicians that we see around. That's my take. Ashley, what do you think about that position of Gachagua at the moment?
I would actually like to reply to the people who are, we are here, it's a debate, and everybody gives their opinion. So there is no need to raise voices. The best thing to do is to listen and ask questions if you think, like you try to convince me, I try to convince you. If we cannot agree, we agree to disagree, because everyone does not have to want your candidate. I started by saying that I applaud what Morala is doing, the exposing. I support him 100%. I am supporting him in that, in civic education. But being that he's doing civic education does not qualify somebody to be a president. It takes more than that to be a president. And that is where I said the experience I'm talking is for ourselves as Kenyans, that we get, it's not experience, nobody has experience to be president, nobody has been president. But this is a person we don't know. So we are taking a risk. Why would we rather take a risk? One thing we have seen in our presidents is that they do not obey the Constitution. They do not, they can do everything, they can perform, but they don't obey the Constitution. People are trying to suggest Matiang'i. Matiang'i did not obey the Constitution when it came to Miguna. Whether someone is bad, whether you don't like him, the Constitution in Article 1 says that everything has to go to abide by the Constitution. So we have someone like Okia Omtata, who has shown with a long history that he is one who upholds the Constitution, who is not easily swayed. So why would we not go with a sure bet and go with a person who we have no knowledge of, other than that he's doing and it's good if we all come, even that Morala, that he would agree. Let us support. Let me finish. Yeah, let us support Okia Omtata and Faith Odhiambo as president and vice president for this term, as we fix this, because we are sure or they have shown us that they are people we can trust. They have shown us over a long period of time. Okiya Omtata has been known, even before he was senator, to fight for the constitution. Even as senator, he has gone against. Let me finish, because just let me finish, and then you will come.
On this platform, you came to sell or whatever his face is. That's not what we're here for.
Let me just finish. It's an opinion. We are trying to make our country better. So we don't push your person by force. Let us put our heads together so we can get the right person, the best person. I am selling nobody, because there is nothing in it for me. I am not being paid. I am just a patriotic Kenya who wants the best that is Kenya. If Morala will provide that, I will support him 100%. What I am saying is, apart from him coming and showing what Ruto has not done, I know nothing else about him that would make me choose him over Okiya Omtata, over Faith Adhiambo. How do I know Faith? Faith was offered a position and she declined. How many people have you seen that have been offered a position and declined money? Even Kalonzo went to bargain. Even Kalonzo went to bargain. When he went for the NADCO, he came back with an opposition office because it offered him money. It takes character to say no when you're offered money by the government, or positions where you'll make money for nothing and decline. That is what I am using to decide who I can trust for that position, even though they have no experience. That is why I would back Faith Adhiambo if she stood. You know, everybody has to have a reason why they are doing something. You have a reason why you're supporting Morala. I have a reason why I'm supporting somebody else. And I am not saying that I don't support Morala in what he's doing right now. But as a candidate for president, I have a better preference. Thank you.
Thank you actually for your remarks and your thoughts on Morara. I think this is a platform where we want to see the best out of Morara and talk about our country without fear or favor. You see, when you are saying somebody like Okiya Omtata and Morara are just doing the same thing. They're all activists. Yeah. So Okiya Omtata, we have seen him in his activism. But just the other day, I was covering his constituency. I saw how Busia and the schools in Busia are, and I was like, his county, the county of Busia is being looted left, right, and center. I've never seen him speak out in the Senate about the looting that is going on in Busia. The children are still learning under the trees in Busia county, and he's the senator. That alone put me off from Okiya Omtata, that is not really concerned about his people, although he comes out very, very strongly on issues to do with governance and corruption. But that equally does not make him a good leader. You just said that. Because Morara is an activist, that does not also make Omutata a good president for the country. But on faith, you've talked about integrity. The head of LSK, you've talked about integrity. So she's a woman of integrity. But sometimes these people, just like Maraga, some of them might not be interested in the presidency. So we might be looking at somebody who is looking at a very different career path. Let me have Bonnie, who has been seated here for a very long time. Bonnie, sema kitu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mzalendo, and I am happy for this. What I can say is that I'm 100% supporting Ashley, what Ashley is saying. You know, when I hear Ashley speaking, I always get that goosebumps because she always speaks the facts. Thank you, Ashley, for speaking my mind, and I 100% support you. Thank you.
Bonnie, you just said that, okay, actually speaks your mind and all that. So that is all that you've said. Alex, let me have Alex come in as you gather your thoughts on this matter. Then you can have Penny.
So, okay, Mzalendo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
First of all, the remarks that Ashley has made, which are kind of true, but I feel like I don't agree with her on everything. Okiya Omtatah is a good leader. We accept it, and I like the fact that she has said that apart from Morara doing the exposés, we don't know much about her. So that shows me, Ashley, you haven't really done a background check. You haven't really researched well to know more about Morara. And like, let's say, Ashley, don't you think we will be turning a blind eye if we don't put in Morara? Because look at the leaders that we have. We have Azimio, we have Kenya Kwanza. Those are the two big names. Apart from these other ones, wenye hatuwajui. So if we don't put in Morara, who are we putting? Because Okiya has been there for a long time, but why hasn't he run for office? Why hasn't he run for presidency? Because I feel like we need all those great minds, the Okiya Omtatahs, the Senator Onyonkas, who is this guy? The Sifuna. We all need those brains hapo kwa office. So why hasn't Okiya run for office tumpe? So if Morara is running, we give Morara because he's the best option.
All right, let's hear from the Vice Counsel of Penny Nyagaka. Sum up the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Rendo. What Ashley is pointing out is that Okiya Omtatah has always been a national activist. He has always been an activist, not a leader. He points out what is wrong. Lakini huyu Morara vile mheshimiwa amezungumza hapo kitambo, right immediately from me, is that he's really explaining the local person huko Ushago what is going on and how he is paying taxes and how he's being railroaded by the government of the day. So some of us are supporting him because he's humble enough to understand. And anasema, in 2027, if he wins, so be it. If he loses, it will be the official opposition. And that's what a democracy needs anywhere in the world. Ya kwamba if you are developing a democracy, you have to have an opposition and a government. They're distinct. They're different. Ingine is ruling, and the other one is trying to unseat the ruling party. So actually, huyu Morara wengine tuna support him not because he will win, but because if he becomes the opposition, it will be even better. Because tunaona huyu Raila from the 80s alikuwa anakuwa na opposition. He has governed the opposition, lakini Moi alimweka mfuko, and consequently Kibaki, Kenyatta, Ruto, and we do not have an active opposition to criticize the government of the day so that we can move forward. So wengine lazima niseme ya kwamba we are very clear. Yes, he doesn't have hands-on experience of government, but in Kenya we have had hands-on experience in government that they have ended up doing the worst job. Naona vile Kenyatta ameiba pesa, naona vile Ruto is selling the whole country. But these are people who have been ministers. These are people who have had experience, running government departments and stuff.
And what makes Morara would do that enough to qualify to be?
Huh?
What makes you think those have done when Morara gets there, he will not expose in Ruto enough for him to qualify to be president?
Penny, that question was meant to. Actually, can you come again? Repeat that question. It's like Penny didn't quite get you.
What makes him think those things that he has said those other presidents have done, that Morara, when he gets to power, he will not do that? exporting what Ruto's projects that is qualified. Is that the only thing that we are doing? Or what else makes us have that Morara will make a better president?
Actually, Morara has started his own businesses. He has survived the life of the street. Now Sasa is pointing out what the problems of. We never knew that. Even Nania Mutata never pointed out exactly what this Morara is doing. Na hiyo ndio ninakubaliana na wewe ya kwamba if he doesn't win, we'll have an active opposition which is equally as important as the person who is ruling the country. The both of them have a job to do. Here opposition, then the government. So some of us are really supporting him to be in the government. But the only person in Kenya who was very successful ni Mzee Kenyatta. And it was just a meter leader. Yeah, uko Nairobi. And guess what he did? And you can see exactly when they were building KCC, Kenyatta International Center, when they were building the airports. This is Ada Kenyatta, who was not even experienced with anything other than reading the meters. This is a lawyer ambayo has done anything. Wacha nikubaliana kwamba actually, if Morara loses, and he has said it very clearly, he will be opposition leader. Tungekuwa na opposition leader from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, Kenya ingeendelea mbali sana. But we have never had an opposition leader. What Raila has always been doing, and then everybody anapewa kitu kidogo ananyamaza. Look at today, Kenya is being sold. Everything is being sold. And we don't have an opposition to point out this. Other than the Mutoto Onyonka, that is coming out, Sifunas, Mutatas. There is no opposition. We have to have an organized opposition. If actually you win with your Mutatas and everybody, so be it. Some of us don't have a problem, so long as we have both the government and the opposition. Thank you, Mr. Lendo.
Ashley, you've got a chance to reply.
What I'm going to say, I would rather we would even have Senator Onyonka as the president, because one, he's mature, he's wise, and then I'm not Morala, but I would need for him to the next president that but and then that's 4 years or whatever. Let us see what he's made there, because it is awesome. There are people who know how someone is not doing something to job themselves. So we have to get a job. Very senior people. You have to come with the history, you have to come with the references. There is no way you can be hired for a very high position. No experience with that is the kind of that puts us in the positions that we are. Some people think he had done things. The fact that then doesn't mean that we have more deep playing to be opposition. We talk not go back to power in 2027. There is no room for him. So this time we have to.
Actually, you were ahead of the game when you said Omutata. Onyonka is a waste of time. And I come from Kisii. Morara and Onyonka, they come from Kisii. Onyonka has been all over the map. He has been with Wedegura, he has been with Raila. He chooses wherever he can get any leg ahead. So this is not a leader. This is a dancer. Hatutaki mtu ana dance. Some of us from Kisii, we know exactly what a leader looks like. Kina Nyachai, Kina Maraga. They tell you like it is. Vila Maraga alimwambia, if you bring this case on Saturday, I'm not going to court, I'm going to charge. We have to be very clear. Actually, Onyonka, we're stick with you, Mutata, that's a wonderful guy. and he has been pointing out. He has been a national activist. Lakini Onyonka is a waste of our time. Actually, I didn't mean to butt in like that. Lakini some of us don't. Other than hiyo anania Menya amepatia hiyo makaratasi anakuja hapo kuuliza maswali. That's good. There's nothing wrong. But that does not give him all the years he has been in parliament for over 20-something years. What has he done? Nothing.
Okay, guys. Now, Ashley's standard of
So let me say something, Mzalendo. You see, because I've only seen that part of him, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when someone has a history, it's easier to judge from them. So now you've told me, because you know Onyonka more than I do, that is not good. That is the kind of conversation we have. And when we have it without emotion, when we have it without hatred, I am telling you, we are going to choose the right person the next time, and we are going to get it right, and we are not going to be in opposition, because we cannot have Ruto go back. In fact, I would wish that he was removed before 2027, but we cannot put someone else to go and do the same things. We thought electing Ruto was going to be better than Uhuru, and we got a shock. We cannot keep making the same mistakes when electing a leader. We have to change the way we view and the way what qualities are we looking for? The person just coming to say someone is not doing something doesn't mean that they'll be any better themselves. There has to be more than that we are looking at and we have seen in this person that can make them president. That is what I'm saying.
I agree with you, Ashley. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I really agree with you, but there is something that you are looking for in a leadership that maybe is lacking in the holistic view of somebody who you want to be your president. Now, you are looking at somebody who is pointing out that the wrongs in society and taking them head on. Somebody who is very, very controversial, or somebody who is able to confront the government of the day, that is the person who will make a good president. I want to take you back to somebody that we saw is very, very very controversial and confrontational. Somebody like Raila Odinga. Do you think that Raila Odinga would have made a good president for Kenya? Ashley?
Can you repeat that?
The way you've been looking at your kind of president is somebody who is out there pointing about the wrongs of government and confronting the government of the day. That is according to you, and somebody with integrity and has been consistent with his movement. Do you think Raila Odinga would make a good president if age allowed it?
I think the thing that we have a problem with, and people are saying Matiang'i. By the way, I conducted a review. I called a few people in Kenya during the Gen Z when they started bringing Matiang'i, and there was a really big move that people wanted Matiang'i. They say he performed. But yes, he performed. Have you ever seen a manager in a bank who is very good, but he's also a thief? He's stealing people's money. So a person can be a performer like Matiang'i, but he also was disobeying court orders. We have a lot of bodies that were found at River Yala. Though he performed, he did the work, but he also was shoddy. So what I concluded is that what we need most in a president is someone who can uphold the rule of law. Either someone like Morara does not understand, or he has shown a pettiness to interfere with the institutions when he says that he will arrest and imprison Matiang'i, because he's not in the judiciary. He has no power as president to do that. So it concerns me when he says he will do that. Either he tells me he is not knowledgeable, or he will follow in the footsteps of Ruto, of Uhuru, of the presidents before him, and interfere with the judiciary. That is what we are trying to get away from. So when I look at things like that, then I think, okay, I like what he's doing right now, but I don't think that he is the right person to be president immediately after Ruto. We need immediately after Ruto to bring someone who really respects the rule of law. If Morala can support and use his influence to campaign for someone like Okiya Omtata, who has not run, because one, he doesn't have that charisma and he doesn't have the money to run. He said if they support him, he will run.
Okay.
Someone like Okiya Omtata, so far, and I know you said something about Busia. He said he's working. You know, the times he has been raided in his office, they have raided him because he's trying to investigate the corruption in his county, and the governor sends people to steal the documents from him. So he's actively pursuing those, whatever you're saying is going on in the county. He said he's actively pursuing it. But there has been a lot of opposition. I think he's even had a court case about the corruption in his own county. So that is what I know, and that's what forms me to think that I can support him, because you remember he told Ruto, "You're my friend, but the constitution is my best friend." We need a president who will stand by the constitution, whether it is against him or for him, that he will let the institutions be independent and work. So that if you let the institutions be independent, if Ruto is a thief or is corrupt, those institutions will work and arrest him. And that has nothing to do with the president. So no presidential candidate should come and say that they will arrest anybody.
Actually, now, yes, we have seen Omtata as being being a very honest leader, but in leadership we also need communication. Our communication skills, we also need him to be visionary. What kind of vision do you see Omtata portraying, or how does he look at the country Kenya? What kind of vision does he have for the country? He's not able to articulate that very well. As much as you'd want him to be the candidate, but is he able to articulate his visions and communicate to the people to elect him?
I'm not saying that it's for me. I'm saying right now who I see. I'm open to people, but right now I see him and I see Faith Athiambo. Right, for me, for right now, I don't know tomorrow someone else. We didn't know Morala until the other day when he came up. There are so many people who haven't come up. So there are people who can fit that. But right now, what Kenya needs is a president who will uphold the rule of law. Communication skills are skills that can be learned. But right now, what we are lacking mostly in our leaders is leaders who obey the constitution, leaders who work for the people, who represent the people. That if you look at everything in our government right now, everything is about the leaders and what they want. It has nothing to do with the people. So we need to look for a president who will advocate for the people. If we can find that person, everything else can be learned. Skills can be learned.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
in short, Ashley,
Yes. Yes. Alex.
so from what I'm seeing and I'm hearing in the panel, the biggest issue we have as Kenyans is corruption, isn't it? Yes, and let me also use the constitution. The constitution tells us in terms of voting we're supposed to elect leaders based on integrity, isn't it? Yes. So the way I'm seeing it, we need somebody at the top who can do away with corruption. And like from what I'm hearing from all these leaders, no one is perfect. No one is perfect, because there are many good things we can speak about Omtata, but we can also open his files and see the things he hasn't accomplished. We can do the same for Morara and the same for Nyonka. But for me, I'm seeing them as the best options compared to what we have. So and I also disagree with Penny on the issue to do with Senator Onyonka. I believe Senator Onyonka is a person of integrity. He always stands by what he says. That's why even if you go anywhere, ask anyone about Onyonka, people will always choose him, not based on tribal or anything, but because he stands on policy. Yes, that's how it should be. So if Onyonka is elected, we will know that Kenya is moving forward, where we'll have politics of policy, and that should be the goal. Tutoe akina Ruto na akina Gachagua,
Oh,
those
okay,
are
guys. I've got 5 minutes for the show. This time round, we all said that we're going to do this show for the shortest time so that we get some substance. My last topic for the night is the issue of CDF. And actually, I want you to weigh on this because this is something that is out there. The MPs are really fighting very, very hard to get CDF in the constitution, to put it as part of the constitution of Kenya. What are your thoughts? Do you think that the CDF, the national government, it's called national government, what
NGCDF.
NG, national government, yeah, NGCDF. What does the CDF stand for?
I don't know what it stands for, but I know it has to do with bursary, NGCDF, and I know that it was recently the court ruled it to be unconstitutional, yet they are allowing it to stay until
This is what it stands for: National Government Constituency Development Fund. That is what the CDF stands for, the National Government Constituency Development Fund. Now, this fund has been with us for many. We enacted the new constitution. So this fund has been there. Now, the courts have ruled that this thing is illegal. It's very, very illegal. And Senate is also looking for a fund similar to the one controlled by the MPs. At the county assembly, there is also another similar fund that they passed. So it is all about funds that these leaders want to control. What do you think should happen to CDF?
So it was ruled to be unconstitutional, yet the judge said that they have until December, I think, of 2026. If it is unconstitutional, the judge, I believe, just translates the law, but they cannot.
Yes, actually, you're lost. Yeah, I think what actually you were saying is that the judge translated the law that this thing is unconstitutional. For them to again to extend it is also unconstitutional, if there is anything like that. So that the judge is having is making a pronouncement that this particular fund is unconstitutional. Then he uses the law again to extend the fund to the unconstitutional fund for a period of about 2 years. I think that is absolutely very wrong. Penny, what do you think of this? Your last remark, even as we wind up. Hii mambo ya CDF.
CDF is completely unconstitutional. They are not. You don't go to parliament to make social issues. You go to parliament to make the laws of the country. Welfare bar, the CDF, is just illegal. It has been declared unconstitutional and it is wrong. Because pesa ambao wanapeana the MPs kama ni watoto wanaenda shule, it should not be influenced by the MPs because the MPs will give those people who supported them. And it is illegal. It is illegal in any which way you look at it. That was when you go parliament to make social rules. They go to parliament to make the laws of the country. So they should do away with that completely and find a way of paying the school fees for all the kids in schools. not through the parliament, MCAs or members of parliament or whatever, because they will do it favors. You know that, I know that, everybody knows that.
Alex, last remark.
For me, Mzalendo, I think we have to do away with this CDF money, because this is just another scheme for the MPs to steal the money. Education should be free, like the times of Kibaki. You see, when I was young, those days of Kibaki, we benefited from the free education, and there MPs hawakuwa na njia ya kuiba hii pesa ya CDF. So I believe we have to go back to those times. Even that is one of the things which Onyonka was championing for when he came to Mount Kenya University. That was what he was pushing for. We do away with this CDF, and education should be free from prime.
Oh, actually, you're back. Actually, your closing remarks. So we have done 2 hours. This shows I really want them to be just within 2 hours, because when we go beyond that, then we don't have the strength to go on. I can see most of my friends in the comment section. Gypsy Corner is so tired today, not even talking. I think Gypsy, you've been so quiet. Kenya Revolutionary, huyo Jalejo ameenda kulala. Master Standard, thank you for being on the comment section this evening, and many others who have been there. Kisumu News Line TV, thank you. We sent the link, but we didn't jump in. Next time, make sure that you come into the program and we hear your views. Ashley, your closing remarks. Nakaa Ashley ameshikana mahali.
Oh,
So yes.
Nico. Thank you so much. Open the show more often so we can contribute. And thank you so much for this forum. I want to say that when we come to the forum, let us know that we are all working for a better Kenya. So let us share our ideas. If you think you're very convicted about the person you're supporting, just convince us without trying to be hateful, because I don't think any of us is being paid. We are all looking for the right person to rally behind so we can have a better country, because so that we can have our glory back. Wanasema ili Kenya ipate heshima kote duniani. How do we do that? Getting the right person at the very head of our country. Thank you. Good night.
Actually, what I've been grumbling about is the timings of the show. What time do you think that this show should begin and end? Because I don't want them to go beyond 3 hours. 2 hours is just enough for us
I
to
think,
make.
yeah, that's a good time, but I think it's too late. I don't know whether this is a good time for people in Kenya.
Yeah, the best time for people in Kenya is between 11. These hours that we are seeing us, because this is the time they're woken up, especially over the weekend. On a weekday, we can start early, but again, these shows are they are tiresome. You cannot do them all each and every day unless we have a very important burning issue. But we'll try and have them as often as possible. But when we have, like, now we have got so many issues to cover and to discuss. Otherwise, we end up being repetitive in most of these shows. So we'll try them to make them more entertaining and interesting. Like in the last group, I had people from the diaspora. That show was meant for people from the diaspora who support Morara. There are quite a number. Morara is gaining a lot of traction in the diaspora community. There are people who believe in him. A lot of people believe in him. And just as you said, he'll have to partner with somebody else because age is not on his side when it comes to the constitution of Kenya and running for presidency. But he will make a good leader someday when it comes of age. But right now, he's doing the right thing. When his time comes, we will make sure that we elevate him to that particular position. In fact, he left. He has a number. If you want to contribute for Morara, this is Morara's number. Inject Kenya movement M-Pesa. You want to see all those projects that are stalled na pesa zako zimekulwa na nini, weka hiyo gari ya mafuta. Ile gari nilinunua na pesa yenu. So this guy is working for the people of Kenya, telling us where these projects are and who has stolen them. I wish, and this is my take, that they should make the next step and make sure that these people are prosecuted. Maybe report the matter to the police and DCI so that they can take up the matter and we see them in the corridors of justice. So hapo mtata anaweza kuwa alikuwa amepata kazi nzuri sana. Other guys, I hope to see you tomorrow, same time. I know there's some football coming later on in the evening, but good luck to the teams which are playing Arsenal, the rest. Brenda Busire, who is there? Oh my God. Brenda Busire. Brenda Busire has just jumped in. Brenda, we were just winding up the show. We have done like 2 hours. Maybe you have a word or two.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Ndio
No,
nimeona.
Brenda, don't say sorry. Tell us where you are, where you are listening from.
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Oh, you're in Houston. We were discussing about Morara. I hope you have subscribed to our freak. And yes, we have been talking about Morara. What is your opinion? What is your opinion? We want to hear your opinion. And actually, has got a different opinion. Want to hear your opinion about Morara?
We need a new fresh generation of leaders because wale wenye tunaona eti ni wazee wako na busara. It has shown that they don't care about nothing. So we are very capable. We are the same people in the same age of Morara, leading out companies, leading innovations. So why can't we go to presidency? You know. So for a long time, it has been known that presidency belong to those people that have been in politics. No, what to recycle to. But I feel where we are right now, we have everything as the millennials, Gen Z, to just, take over and take care of what we work for, So I am so much in support of what Morara is doing. We might not be there physically as the diaspora people, but akisema nataka kusimama to go into the presidency because I still don't know if he's ready because I watched his interview with Lini Ngugi. Alikuwa anasema, he's still thinking about it but he knows we want him to go for the seat. If he decides to go for the seat, then tutavote kama watu wa diaspora. If he decides to go for the seat, then we will stand behind him financially, So I am happy that for a long time, Kenyans have been complaining, but now, this time, we are acting on the things that we are not happy about. And so we are ready to take over. It's like when you've been, in a car for a long time complaining about the driver losing, sleeping akiwa kwa stair wheel, drinking drunk akiwa analala. So you feel like why can't I just take over? Because this person, the more nashinda nikimwambia, the more they don't even care. Tunapotea njia. So I really I'm looking forward to a positive a positive outcome for whatever that we are doing.
Yeah, I mean every other young person I meet outside there, and even the older generation, I'm talking about Morara and the things that he's going to offer. But he avoided that question the lady who we saw. And for attention, Morara is a lawyer. He's a lawyer. And I want to tell you that he must have done it deliberately because of his age. Brenda, I don't know whether you are aware that to be the president of Kenya, to vie for the presidency seat, you must be at least 35 years of age.
But si walisema constitution you can be 18 years and above.
Yeah, it changed pia mzalendo.
20,
Oh, they changed.
yeah, as long as you're 18 years and above, a Kenyan citizen, a citizen of sound mind, and a Kenyan citizen, you can go forward and vie for presidency.
Basi hiyo inamaanisha Morara yuko kwa ballot. Ashley Morara, Ashley yuko wapi? Ashley,
Nika,
ndio huyo supporter wa Morara mwingine. You and Uganda. Hapa sasa you are it is 3 against 1. Jitetee.
no, what we are actually not just someone, if Morala would go there and not 100% behind him. My only problem is I don't know, apart from him exposing, I haven't seen what else he has done to show us that he will do the job and not be like the other politicians. That is what I haven't seen, and I think that is what we need to address, so that we are not choosing someone blindly to go and get shocked when they go and we see who they really are. That's where my problem is.
Penny, do you have something to say? Your mic is really making a lot of noise, Penny. Your microphone, I don't know what's happening. You're next to the TV.
No, there's nothing here.
I don't know why.
Wacha nizungumze tu 1 minute, niambia Ashley ya kwamba vile tulikubaliana, let the best person win, kama ni Okiya Mutata, kama ni anybody. Lakini experience, mzee Kenyatta experience, lakini alianza country mzuri sana na with the wisdom ya kutosha. So the experience idea, when it is good, those who have had experience in Kenya have ruined it. From Kenyatta, who was a minister, to Ruto, who was a minister, to Moi, who was a vice president. All those people had some kind of experience, but they destroyed us. Actually, mimi na wewe nakubali ya kwamba let the best person win. Na mzalendo, mimi nakwambia huyu Brenda is only 4 hours away from where I am. I'm in Dallas and she's in Houston.
And she's from your area.
Yes. I drive to Houston all the time. So thank you very much. Na endelea na hii show yako vile Ashili alisema. Give us a good time and we'll come and really, this is a very sophisticated debate. Ni mzuri. It is good. It's a good
the show is growing. You can see people like Brenda coming to the show with the different views and all that. And that's what we want. You know, we here in the diaspora understand the politics quite well. And the reason why I am encouraged by somebody like Morara and to stand up and say that is a fresh breath from our usual politics. Is somebody who is coming from nowhere to the political scene, and he came. He has come with his own brand to identify the issues affecting society and find solutions to them. Now he has identified the issues. Now we want a solution for these particular issues that are affecting the people of Kenya. One thing, the mainstream media in Kenya has really avoided some of these topics. One, because they depend on the revenue from the national government, and they cannot really go after the presidency because of the revenues that come from various ministries in terms of advertisement and in terms of other opportunities that people might want to be associated with the government of the day. So ukigonga serikali sana kama unafanya the nation MD anaitwa kanda anasema wewe we will not give you advertisement this year, and that affects most of these companies, and they depend on that revenue to run their organization. So we on the YouTube platform, we are the alternative voice. What the mainstream media cannot air, we will air it without fear or favor. When Ruto is not doing his job, we will call him out. Morara is going to the county, is making sure that that the money that we contribute, we in the diaspora, and those people who are also paying taxes back and forth, is used effectively and in a transparent manner. So that is what Kenyan society is lacking, and we have an alternative. And the good thing about Morara is one, Ashley. Morara is not associating himself with Raila Odinga. He's not associating himself with Gachagua. He's not associating himself uh, with Kalonzo Musyoka. It is Morara and the people. That is what makes a good leader. It is him and the people. And who are pushing him, it is the people of Kenya. So we don't need to look elsewhere. And yet there is somebody who has already come out and told us, hey, please, if you support me because this needs a lot of finance, I will work for you. And this is what is affecting our people. So actually, I think we need to not look any further for a senator like Momtata to come and decide whether he's going to run or not. Right now, he's a senator, but we have a candidate already who has shown interest, and he has shown the vigor, and he has shown the passion, and he's also visionary and articulate on the issues that affect the people of Kenya. I think we need to give him support. What do you think? As your last closing remark.
Mzalendo, hiyo umesema even the funding concepts ya Morara peke yake is wonderful ideas. That's what the Western countries do, vile alisema. Na hao wengine wote ambao kinaonyuka, they have not told us how to fund their campaigns other than using their money, and then at the end of the day they try to sell the country to make their money back. Even that concept itself is the most wonderful concept about every Kenyan, kutoka ile mtu ya shamba na mtu anauza ndizi zake anampatia, so that when he's selling 5 bananas and he's giving him money, it will make sure that he can sell the 20 bananas the next year. Even the funding concept itself, umesema Mzalendo, is a wonderful idea. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you, Penny. Brenda, your closing remarks. Umefika very late. We have done 2 hours and 15 minutes. Your closing remarks, and remember to subscribe on Africa, Brenda. And those of you guys who are watching on X and other platforms and you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe so that we can push our candidates to the next level. And you can also come to the platform and push your agenda. Like many of us who come here, you can come and push your agenda, talk about your country, because we here in the diaspora, we love our country so much. This is a country where you are reminded each and every day that you are a foreigner in this country. Iko na wenyewe. Huko Kenya, ukikutana na Nigeria ama ukutana na Mchinese, the way you look at them, the way you look at a Chinese in Kenya is the way a European or an American would look at you. while you are in this country. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived by the smile. That is how they look at you. So we need to make our country better. We need to make it more secure for everybody else to come and thrive in their business. We need to make it accessible in terms of infrastructure in the rural areas, electrification, and many other things. Even schools, if we decide to settle in the village, you, Brenda, has got maybe young kids there, anataka waende wasome huko Nyamira, they'll be able to go to school without any problem because the government has taken care of it. But we can only do that when we keep on talking on such platforms and correcting the government of the day until we find a solution for our country. Brenda, your closing remarks. I think let me unmute you. Your mic is off. Brenda, okay, go
Oh,
ahead. Yeah, mic is off.
I just wanted to answer Ashley.
Yes, absolutely.
When she said that Morala has not said what he's about to do, but I think if you watch and listen to Morara closely, he's already put his agendas out there, corruption. Because what he's doing is educating people on the things they need to do, how to choose leaders. He's also finding out what is wrong with the country. Of course, unajua ni poor governance. That's already what he's gonna tackle. We already know that is what he's going after. About saying that what makes him stand out if he's not gonna be like the rest, you can never know. You can never know someone until you give them a chance. It's just the same thing like marriage. People say, oh, he was nice, she was nice until we got married. So people can pretend to be nice until they get what they want. And I think that is what politicians have been doing years and years. But I think at this point, the things that Morala is doing, he's already proven himself. He's gone far and beyond to prove himself that he understands where we are. He's in this generation, he's pained. And with the people that are supporting him, he's accountable to us. He's been, he's really gone beyond far and beyond kujiprove. So you can never know what someone is capable of until they're proved, until you give them a chance to prove themselves. So I think where he is now, he's doing well. If he gets a chance, then we can say, aya, huyo alikuwa anatudanganya, wacha akuwe mtu wa taa moja, tujaribu mwingine. But at the end of the day, we will never know until we give him a chance. And he's clear with the agendas. If he ever decides, he's very, very clear if you watch his interviews across different platforms. So, yeah.
Thank you, Brenda. Ashley, do you want to rebuttal or we tufunge?
Yeah, my closing remark is that if well, the situation is still fluid. We have 3 years to go for us to really come to the person who will actually be the flag bearer. I hope we won't have so many people. I hope the people outside that are opposing Ruto will all work together to choose one strong person who will represent the people against Ruto so that we can get him out. We are not going to talk about being in the opposition. Ruto cannot go back in 2027. And I had Morala say that about the watching our votes. Let me tell you something. In fact, if we want Ruto to come out, he has to come out before 2027. Because I don't know, if you go to talk to people who do software development or engineering, they will tell you that it can be programmed where you choose Morala, and the person who has programmed it says for every Morala vote, there is 3 times more. It adds 3 votes to the opposite person. So as long as it is being done electronically, the person who has programmed it can actually change the vote by you just clicking on that button. So going to the election is going to be very tricky, very tricky. That is what I'm going to say. And the last thing about Morara, I think he needs to become very familiar with the Constitution, because the issues we have had with our presidents is not obeying the Constitution. And the Constitution is very clear, Article 1, that we delegate our powers, and they have to work on those, whatever they are doing has to be within the Constitution. So when he says that this is what he says, I will not even take Ruto to ICC. I will actually take William Ruto to prison. As who? As who? Is he going to be judge or president? President cannot and does not have the power to take one to prison. So he needs to work on what he's saying. He needs to become familiar with what he's saying. He needs to be wise and careful when he utters things. If he wants to be president, he has to be careful, because a president does not put anybody in prison. That what he's telling me is that he will be overreaching, and we do not want a president that overreaches. Thank you.
All right, Alex, I think you made your closing remarks. Kama kuna kitu ya kusema, Alex. Yeah, with that, I think we call it a day. We've done 2 hours and 30 minutes. Guys, thank you very much. It has been an honor for you guys to be on this platform. We don't take it for granted. I hope to see you again next time. And actually, if I have a topical issues, I will always be inviting you to come personally, and we share our thoughts on this particular issue. Otherwise, asanteni, good morning wherever you are, and good night team.